I'm Aaron Bartuska, and welcome to Make More Movies, a split-tooth podcast where I ask DIY filmmakers what keeps them creating. A couple of months ago, I sat down for a conversation with Jacob Gregor in the lead-up to his newest film screening at Brooklyn's own Spectacle Theater. End of History is Gregor's second feature, after Endless Content Forever, and both films act as scathing deconstructions of what being terminally online can do to one's psyche. Jacob made both films for only a couple $1,000s, and has already shot a couple more features for good measure. Tune in as he discusses both films, as well as the film festival submission experience, the insincerity of YouTube filmmaking tutorials, and his slate of upcoming work. Give it a listen. Hey Jacob, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing well, I'm doing great. I want to talk to you a little bit about your body of work here, man. I mean, you got End of History coming out, it came out. It played Chicago Underground, right?
Correct,
where it premiered last year, and now it's doing a three show run at Spectacle in a week?
Yes.
Cool. How'd you get that set up?
Just one of the programmers there reached out to me directly.
Have you played anything there before?
No, it's my first time at Spectacle, yeah.
It's a nice venue. You've been there though, right?
No, actually.
Really?
I've only been to New York like twice in my life for like 4 days total, so.
I used to live 2 blocks away from Spectacle, so I would be there all the time. It's small, but it's a good crew of people that fill those rooms, so
yeah.
It's gonna be some good screenings you got lined up there, so that's exciting. But I want to kind of go back to the start of your filmmaking career. There were 2 shorts of yours I couldn't find according to IMDb, but I did just discover Chicken Wraps and Condoms, which was a 2018 thing that ended up on No Budge, right?
That sounds right, yeah.
It feels like the genesis for where you eventually ended up with Endless Content Forever and then End of History, so I'm curious what the mindset was there.
Well, the 2 other short films you can't find and will never find were made. Well, one of them was made when I was in college. I think the other was made maybe just after graduating. I graduated college in 2017. Chicken Wraps and Condoms was made probably a year after I graduated college. It was basically made in a day with the 2 other guys in that short film. They're just some college friends of mine. And we just started filming something. I don't really remember why. And then I actually edited the film the day before the Slam Dance deadline. And then I submitted the Slam Dance, and that's the only festival I submitted to, and it got in.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I don't particularly like that short film, but I did. I do feel like I kind of learned something when I was editing it, just in that literally one night I did edit it. So. Yeah. What about, I mean, I feel, did you have the idea to edit it that way while you were filming it? No.
Or did that just come in that one night where you were up trying to finish it?
It came in that one night. So the short film is kind of like a half really stupid, intentionally music video, just because I think I was watching some like bad YouTube music videos at the time. I don't remember what the hell I was watching. But I kind of wanted to make something like that. And then all the other like, the second part of that short film just came when I was editing it. I wasn't thinking about it at all when I was filming it. I wasn't thinking about anything when I was filming it, really. We were just kind of doing that.
Okay.
But the whole like thematics and context and all the other shit was added when I started editing the short film. Yeah.
Okay, and you've been the sole editor on all your projects so far?
Yeah.
In what ways did that one night you stay up, you end up editing it and it comes out like this, and then it gets into Slam Dance? Like, how did that did something, click there where you were like, oh, I'm onto something here. This is kind of the direction I want to go for my first feature?
Yeah, not even necessarily a stylistic direction, just more in terms of you can kind of do whatever you want sort of thing, especially when you have no money. There's no real pressure. Like, nobody gives a fuck that we were filming this thing, so you can just do whatever you want with it. You don't have to like think about it too hard in terms of like other films you've seen or like how other people receive it. It just doesn't really matter. You just try to make something interesting, I guess, something sort of unique. And I guess that was the sort of like quote unquote breakthrough for me. Sorry, my cat is on my desk. Yeah, so it's more just my intentions and giving me a sense of freedom rather than like a stylistic breakthrough or anything like that.
Gotcha. And do you remember like what was going through your head while you were editing this? Like, were you watching it and being like, this feels like that content on YouTube? I'm gonna like do kind of a metatextual breakdown in the back half of this film about that.
I just remember at the time when I was editing it, I thought, this is cool. I really liked what I was doing at the time. So I guess that was more the breakthrough of just me actually liking something when I'm doing. My cat is really being a lot right now. But yeah, it's more just, I forgot what I was saying.
So if you guys hear any meowing or any walking around, that's Jacob's cat in the background.
Yes. But yeah, that it was more just I feel like I'm a better editor than I am anything else. And I get into certain flow states when I'm editing. Sometimes I'll go months without editing in a film. End of History, the edit took like 2.5 years, and I did the rough cut in like a day. And then so I was really inspired for like one day, and then the next 2 years was very slow trotting along.
That's too relatable. That's way too relatable.
But sometimes I do get in those kind of editing states where like I'm coming up with new ideas constantly, and just it just feels really good in the moment. I wish it felt like that every time.
Right.
But yeah, I felt like I was in that sort of state for the first time when I did that short film.
Yeah, because you can almost feel how you're trying to like keep it interesting for yourself. Like in at least those first two films, I think, or the short and then the feature. I think End of History is like purposefully slower and more methodically paced, but we can get into that in a little bit. I think it's interesting too that you did Chicken Wraps and Condoms pre-pandemic, because when I watched both of your features, I would have bet money on the fact that this was just like these ideas were coming out of isolation, coming out of being disconnected, being too online, being disconnected and simultaneously too connected. But do you think like did COVID have an impact on that? Like the next two films?
Honestly, no. So in this content forever, we shot it in late 2020. I wrote it in 2018, around the same time I made that short film. Maybe 2019, I don't remember. But I was always, in high school, I was very much a loser, and I would not go out, ever. I would just be on the internet the whole time. The pandemic changed nothing about how I operated my day-to-day life, pretty much. I was always someone who never went out and just was on the computer all day. So I always felt like how everybody else felt in the pandemic, where I can't go outside, I have to be on the computer all day. That was my normal life up until then. So nothing had really changed for me personally. People bring it up a lot, but honestly, no, it really didn't have an impact on how I like thought about making movies or anything like that.
Gotcha. Well, then you were already on to the things that all of us were forced to realize in those couple of years, I guess. Did you, when you set out to write Endless Content Forever in 2018, then like what was your thesis statement? Like what was the intention of making a film? I hope it's not offensive if I say like there's a middle chunk of that film that it feels intentionally almost unwatchable. Yeah,
that's fair.
So like what is the what was the genesis there?
I just wanted to give I was incredible. That was maybe a couple years after I graduated college. I could not find a job. I worked at Target for a long time, and I couldn't find any, even though I had a college degree, I couldn't get an interview anywhere for anything. And I was just very incredibly depressed. And I mostly just wanted to get across that feeling of doing nothing all day and just watching internet content and just sort of like not really existing. That was the whole like it's I usually, when making a movie, don't think too much about like political themes or anything like that, even though the films are obviously have a lot of political stuff going on in them. I more think about emotionally and tonally how they relate to like my internal feelings rather than anything else.
Yeah. The films, they are inherently political because of how much political content they show, or in the case of End of History, how much political content you hear. But if you just look at what you've actually filmed for the films, like none of that is even, again, it's something that feels like it comes through when you're alone editing in your isolation, which I think is very interesting. Do you do like both films are very deeply about being too online, I think, right? And I'm wondering, is that something you look down on? Is that something that you partake in? Are both true?
Yeah, both are true. I am very online, and I look down on it, I would say. It's not a good thing to be very online. I don't think that's a hot take these days. But yes, I have been very online my whole life. I'd say I'm a bit better in the past year or so, but I'm still very much online. I'm on Twitter every day. I scroll constantly. So
right.
I don't do much else besides scroll the internet while I'm at work and scroll my feeds while I'm at work. So yeah, I am very online, and I think it's bad.
and it feels like Endless Content Forever is trying to like give you like a very straight like pill of like this is what you're actually doing to yourself, to your brain, right? And then End of History is kind of, the character in the film is in like these beautiful landscapes and in nature and going on this, he's alone, but he's going on this beautiful road trip. That's kind of showing you like what you're missing by partaking in all of this. It almost felt like, and I could be wrong about this read, but End of History almost felt like it could have been about the making of, or End of History felt like it could have been about the making of Endless Content Forever a little bit. But I don't know if that's...
We shot the road trip in 2022 before Endless Content was actually finished, weirdly enough.
Okay.
So there's just a lot of natural carryover in terms of just what I was feeling at the time and general ideas about the internet and things like that. Obviously, I took a much different stylistic approach with End of History, one I actually like a lot more. But yeah, I was feeling the same kind of general feelings when I made End of History versus when I made Endless Content Forever, of just being on the internet, and also still very much depressed, still making... I have no money. These movies cost no money.
Do you have exact figures on that? Would you be willing to share?
Endless Content Forever is probably like $3,000. End of History is whatever the cost of gas in the hotels were.
Gotcha. Yeah, I read an estimate of 5,000 or something.
Yeah, it could. I have no idea. It's whatever that figure is, pretty much, because the only crew on the production was me and the actor who was the person who drove. There's nobody else.
That's Matt Calhoun, right?
Yeah, Matt Calhoun. Okay. Yeah, I went to college with him.
Okay.
At Ohio State.
You've made both of these films for under 10 grand, and they're getting a pretty significant amount of traction, I would say, especially End of History. I mean, both of your shorts premiered, or both of the short and the feature premiered on No Budge, and then End of History is living currently on Means TV, but played at Chicago Underground. Has it played other festivals?
It played at a festival in Florida called Bizarroland, and it also played at Toronto just this past week at the University of Toronto, not at a film festival. But yeah, that's it for film festivals. I would say I submitted to about 90 film festivals, and I got rejected by about 88 of them. So...
Isn't that the whole experience? Yeah.
Yes.
If I had all the money back that I've spent on festival submissions,
it's probably close to what I spent on the actual movie. So
yeah, it's something that enough people don't talk about, really, because it does feel so good when you get into that one, but then you're forgetting about the 88 submission fees and cover letters that you took time writing and research you did. It's like years off your life.
yeah. It's a bummer applying to film festivals. I'll say that.
Yeah. how do you persist? How do you keep positive amidst all those rejections?
I would say I'm a pretty negative person overall. I don't always keep positive after rejections. It's a lot of complaining to my girlfriend and just unloading. But I have nothing else to do with my life besides make movies, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. At the end, I'm still just going to keep making another one, even if nobody gives a shit, I guess, because I have no other real interests in life, so it's just one of those things.
I was having a very similar conversation with a friend the other day about just like, he was kind of, I've had some failures that cost a good amount of money, right, that haven't really gone anywhere, and he was like, I don't know how you bounce back, and I was like, this is really all I know how to do and all I want to do.
Yeah.
So like, it's not really a choice.
Yeah, I mean, if I wanted to do something else, I would do it.
Right.
Yeah.
You star in Endless Content Forever and Chicken Wraps and Condoms, but not in End of History. Mm-hmm. What was that? Just a practical choice about like how you made it, or?
Yeah, I don't like acting. I'm only in the other ones because of I was there pretty much. I do not enjoy acting. I have acted in a couple friends' movies and some small parts, and that's cool. Like just being on someone else's film set for like a day or two. But I don't enjoy acting at all. I do one of the voices in End of History, so I am technically in it, although I did not credit myself.
Were all of those constructed for the film? All of those voiceovers?
Yeah, 90% of them. Besides the ones that are like Donald Trump, Joe Biden, whatever.
Which came first, the voiceovers or the footage?
The footage. So we had. So it's a road trip movie. I don't know if that was said, but we drove from Chicago to Alaska, and we had nothing prepared. We didn't write a single thing before we started driving. We didn't shoot a single second of footage before we started driving. The only idea we had is that he was into some sort of right-wing coded motivational content, but we didn't write anything before we set out. It kind of... As we were most of the shoot was him driving for 10 hours straight while I sat in the car with my camera and thought about what I should film. That was basically the process for the 9-10 days that we drove.
It comes together in a way that plays really well, because I was watching this guy go about his life hardly reacting to the things that he was hearing, and it left two major thoughts in my head, where one, if I heard any of this shit, I would have to, like, scoff, right? But this guy is just, like, it's second nature, or he agrees with it, right?
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, like, how many people do I walk by just on the street who are listening to this in their AirPods?
Yeah.
Right? Like, was that a conscious thing that you went into it trying to showcase? Yeah,
the main starting point, I guess, for a lot of it was I'm on Twitter a lot. Shit. Sorry. All right, we're back.
What's your cat's name? We should credit the cat.
Soda Pop.
Soda Pop keeps wanting to make an appearance in the pod.
I'm on Twitter a lot. So I mean, if you're on Twitter, like, you're going to see a lot of right-wing stuff, even if you don't necessarily follow right-wing people. Even if it's just, like, people, like, quote tweeting a dumbass tweet just to, like, dunk on them or whatever. So you're going through these feeds of, then you're interested in clicking the original tweet, and then you're looking at all the replies of the tweet. And I was more interested before Twitter was all bots in the replies. So like in 2022, all the replies were pretty much real. I mean, now any big tweet, the first 100 fucking comments are nothing but bots or the same copy and paste AI generated responses. It's unreadable. Yeah. But 4 years ago, you could read what actual people thought for the most part. And I was really more interested. I was never interested in making a movie about like a right wing figure. Like I never wanted to make a movie about Nick Fuentes, but I would want to make a movie about a guy who replies to every Nick Fuentes tweet and just like cheering him on, whatever. Like, what is that guy's life like? in some ways probably not that much different than mine in terms of me being a loser and doing nothing. But that was the original starting point. It was just kind of wanting to make a movie about a right-wing reply guy and not really showing any interiority of him. Just more like fly in the wall, like kind of just observing his almost slice of life style, shot from very far away, never really like allowing him to, for the most part, showcase who he really is around other people or things like that. I kind of just wanted a very kind of almost sterile environment of just kind of observing someone fly on the wall style. And a lot of it, was like, I mean, I've worked mostly minimum wage jobs, so I've known a lot of guys who are like this and who would like show you content or whatever, things like that. And like the end scene is spoiler of him him just kind of staring at a wall while like audio plays. At one point, I maybe made it too subtle in the sound design, but someone in another car pulls up and they're also listening to similar right-wing content. And that was part of the idea of like, this is not like a singular guy. It's a massive thing of like people addicted to this like kind of content and like thought process.
Yeah. Oh, I thought that was you teasing a sequel, like the next guy. Yeah. It was the next guy we follow.
Yeah.
It is like, you know, it's interesting because the only things we're learning about this guy are what we're hearing him listen to, right? And it does feel like the natural progression after your first feature and your short, because both of those feature a lot of screenshots of replies. Like there's the 5-minute sections of both films, it feels like, that are just YouTube comment replies, and so it makes sense. This film is just about the guy who replies, which is not, I don't know if there's ever been a film that focuses on anyone like that. It's a very interesting, sad avenue to go.
Yeah. It seemed more apt for kind of what I wanted to do, and also they've always just really made me laugh. I've always bookmarked a lot of strange reply tweets or YouTube comments. All the ones featured in the movie are real, pretty much 100%. Just kind of almost verbatim, just taken from real replies and stuff like that. So it's always been sort of just like a little obsession of mine. Just like this small window into someone's like life and wondering what the hell is their like daily life like, if they're like spending all day replying to the most insane shit you've ever seen online.
Have you gotten any sort of like, I don't know, backlash is probably too strong of a term, but like, has anyone come up to you and be like, yo bro, I listened to Andrew Tate, like what the fuck is this? Like,
no, I don't think the movie is really big enough to cross over. It'd be interesting if it was. I'd love. It would be very interesting. I'd love for the movie to be big enough where it crosses over into like right-wing guys with Pepe Avatar saying "friend," like talking about the movie on Twitter. That'd be kind of awesome. But it's in a very small niche film circle right now. So no, I haven't gotten anything like that.
I also have some people I work with that I could show them to, and this would probably seem like a reflection in a way that they wouldn't know how to they wouldn't know how to react to.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to put the film on Means TV? Because that the website describes them as a worker-owned anti-capitalist streaming service. I just watched a whole mini-series called Miss Me Yet by Chris Bell. Which also it's very aligned. You know, it's he's edited entirely out of content from the Bush years. So this seems to be a theme on Means TV. Did they reach out to you? Did you reach out to them? Like, how did that happen?
Yeah, actually, it was Chris Bell that reached out to me.
Oh, cool.
To put it.
I'm going to see his film tonight. Failed State is playing
nice.
A couple towns over. Yeah,
nice. So it was him that reached out to me, and I didn't really put too much thought process into it because it was a non-exclusive thing. So it's like, sure, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Just put it on there. I mean, I keep all rights, so it doesn't just take it. Anybody can have it. I don't really give a shit. I just want people to see it. I don't really care about. I never expect to make money from movies.
You can't. It's a losing battle.
No. So as just just trying to get as much people as possible to see it is kind of my goal. So if someone reaches out and says they want to like stream it or whatever, I'm like, yeah, I don't really sure. It's cool with me. I don't really think about it beyond that, honestly. Especially because I don't have a lot of time to think about distribution or like trying to like really go hard after distribution. I just shot another movie a month ago, so I was in prep for that movie while this was still like playing at festivals and stuff. So I just don't have time to like. I probably could be better about it, about like trying to go after distributors or trying to like play it in more theaters and stuff like that. But it's really time consuming to do that, and I'm also very bored by that whole idea of it. I make the movie and it's over for me. So
right. Yeah, at a certain point, independent filmmaking becomes like you're your own manager, you're your own cheerleader. Like you have to do all this outreach, and then it doesn't even feel like you're an artist anymore, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
How do you make a piece of art that you want to speak for itself, and then go and continue to speak for that art and justify its existence? Like it feels, the business side of it is something that I am trying to get good at, but hate getting good at.
Yeah, I'm just not. I have a business degree, actually. I'm just not very business focused. I don't give a shit, for better or worse.
It is what it is. Can you tell me a little bit about that new film? Is there anything you're willing to reveal about that?
It's my highest budget film. It's $20,000.
Okay.
And it's also, instead of End of History was entirely one person, this has about 25 cast members, 25 to 30. But it's stylistically similar, kind of slow cinema adjacent, kind of shot with the same camera and same lens as End of History, so also looks very similar.
Which End of History looks great, so that's awesome to hear.
Thank you.
It looks incredible. It's one of my favorite films of 2025, simply because of like how stunning
Thank you.
it is.
But it allowed me to work with a lot of new people just because there were so many cast members, mostly Chicago actors, a lot of people I've worked with before, but some new people who I really wanted to work with, some random people in there, like I know you had Michael Glover-Smith on, the lead of his most recent film, Hecla, is that what it's called?
Oh, yeah.
She's
Elizabeth
in it. Yeah,
Stam?
she's in it. Yeah. Joe Swanberg's in it.
Whoa.
Just some friends of mine too that I've always wanted to put in a movie but never got the chance to. Things like that.
This is like a Chicago, like,
yeah,
Hannah Takes the Stairs. Like it's like everyone
although
coming
it
together.
is not set in Chicago, it is set in Ohio, where I'm from.
Okay.
And I went back to shoot some exteriors in Ohio, but yeah, it's sort of stylistically similar to End of History. I'll just say that. Yeah.
Okay. Is it in the same vein in terms of themes?
Yeah, very similar.
Okay.
I think about the same things constantly, so
it's hard not to.
Yeah.
Okay, I won't push anymore, but that's very exciting. I mean, but you're going to edit it one day and then put it on the shelf for 2 years and then pick it back up. So
that's very likely. Yeah.
We'll get it in 2029.
Probably.
But that's awesome. Are you planning on shooting anything else, or are you just focusing on that pretty much?
There's just the way I shot it with a lot of different cast members. It's kind of hard to talk about it without like seeing what the film is structurally, but there's a lot of just like one-off vignettes of characters who don't really show up in the rest of the film. So there's still more of those to kind of shoot. I'm just kind of waiting until I have a decent rough cut and then kind of see what I want to shoot, what might add to the movie, that sort of thing. It's kind of a new way I've developed of making a movie is shooting like a bulk of it and then a week and then just seeing what I have and then think about, well, what would add to this film. That's kind of what I've been doing with this one.
I like that. That's a good process.
Yeah, I also shot another feature last year that I have not edited yet. So
you're just like making moves. You've got like
maybe
3 hidden features.
Yeah. I'll get back to working on that one after this one's done. This takes precedence right now just because I actually spent money on it.
Are those the only 2 features you've shot, or is there another one you're not telling us about?
A couple of short films.
Okay.
That I've shot. Well, it's more like short landscape films, not very narrative focused. But I have footage for a couple of those that I'll fuck around with when I have the time or feel like it. But yeah, I have stuff I've shot that I just need to actually sit down and look at, which is my least favorite part.
What motivates you to do that? Like, what happens on the day where you're like, oh, I can do this now?
I almost feel never motivated. It's very hard for me to be motivated to actually edit something. It's because there's like no pressure, right? Because nobody gives a fuck about me. There's no deadline on me, so I'm a big procrastinator.
Unfortunately, Jacob, you're getting to the point where people do give a fuck about you, though.
Well,
this film is hitting the people that it hits very, very strongly.
That would be nice, because it maybe would put some pressure on me to actually fucking work on things for once in my life. But sometimes you just feel like, well, like when I did End of History in that one day, I got really high, and then I did it. And I've tried that technique several times in the future, and it never worked again. But I still hold out hope that if I just get really high, it'll just...
One of these days it'll work again.
But it's never worked again. But yeah, I just have to be in a very certain state, and I don't always know when that's going to be. My girlfriend's out of town this week, and this would be a good time to do stuff, but whatever.
Well, that's my fault. I took up your time, so you can blame me for today.
Oh, I wasn't going to do shit anyways.
It's so fun. I'm in the exact same boat right now. I have a feature that I shot that I should have finished editing by now, but I haven't. And then another film I had to make a DCP for, and I didn't do it until the week before it was due for the... It's like a whole... So I very much... I think me and a lot of listeners probably relate to exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
But, you've done it successfully a few times, so there's, you'll continue to do it.
I have hope that I will eventually finish these things, so... I'm not shooting anything else for the next 2 years, so I'm gonna just focus on finishing things I have already shot. So
that's great. That's a great resolution for 2026. I also have some things I need to finish.
I also am completely out of money. I have $1,000 left in my bank account, or less. I have $800, and I owe taxes that I have not filed yet. So
was the 20,000 all your? Are you comfortable talking about money? Was that all your money?
That was all my money.
Oh man,
that I saved for 3 years.
Okay, so you and I are exactly the same, because in 2022 I spent my $19,000 of life savings on a feature film that I've never gotten money back from.
yeah, and I don't plan on getting money back from this one, but I'm hopeful it'll be just a little bit bigger, a little bit more attention. But I don't expect to get my money back, nor do I necessarily really care all that much if I get my money back. It'd be cool, but
it would be cool, but you can't care if you start caring about that, you won't make anything ever again.
Yeah.
What is your stance? What are we fucked? Like these films feel like we're fucked.
Yeah, the films are pretty bleak and cynical, and which some people will say is a bad thing. I don't think that. I feel like more films should be completely bleak and cynical. I could have thrown in a little bittersweet note or some whatever the fuck at the end of history, but it doesn't really align with what the film was. I would say I'm a little less cynical than what my movies typically are. I guess maybe I have hope sometimes, but I mean. I don't know. I'm not really a smart guy or a big political thinker in terms of how things work or how things can improve. I just make movies about depressed people who happen to inhabit the current political landscape of the world. But whatever, man. Things can get better.
Things can get better. And hey, yeah. I mean, I think you're a smart guy, but if you're claiming that you're not, you're at least in good company with most of the voting majority. So
I'm pretty stupid. Yeah.
Jacob, is there anything you want to plug or say to any? The goal here with this podcast is to, one, get your work out there more if there's an audience on Split Tooth for it, but also inspire people to make more movies, as is the title. So is there anything you want to leave us with?
Yeah, I guess the main thing is I hate watch a lot of YouTube videos, and I hate watch specifically a lot of how-to filmmaking YouTube videos, and that whole environment is crazy to me. it's more about like, I mean, all the videos titled how to make an A24 style film, whatever the fuck they're all called, how to make a Netflix quality film, whatever that means. They're all trying to like emulate a certain style or just trying to like look exactly the same as every other like filmic look cinematographer, videographer on Instagram. They all want to look exactly the same. They all want to do the exact same shit. And like a lot of those channels, whenever you see like all right, we're gonna make a short film as an example of what you can do. All their short films suck, and they suck in a very specific way in terms of they're just kind of nothing. There's no like idea or like thought behind them. They're just kind of, this is a short film. Like a lot of punchline short films or a lot of just like shitty kind of like nothing sci-fi action short films that have like no unique ideas other than trying to be like, look at what I can do so you could hire me to do a bigger film. Like, I don't think that's how it works. Maybe it is. I don't know. But I feel like people should be entirely focused on how to make a film that actually represents themselves rather than trying to make a movie that is like another movie. Obviously, I have stylistic influences, but they're all based at this point in my life on trying to capture a specific feeling that I specifically have that I don't know how to say through words, but I can sometimes show it through film. I'm not a very eloquent person, so I feel like the only way I can show myself is through film, and a lot of people, they seem to not want to do that. I don't know if it's too personal or too abstract, or I don't know, but people should be focused on trying to find their own specific voice in what they want to say. That's the only thing that really matters, is having a voice, right? And a specific voice and a unique voice, rather than worrying about like tech shit. I don't know anything about fucking tech. I have the same camera. It's this fucking camera. This is the same lens. It's a Black Magic. It has no lens cap because I lost it. And I shoot everything pretty much on this lens.
I teach with Black Magics. I teach high school film, and we use Black Magic, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll show them End of History.
Yeah. I don't think many high school students would dig it anyways, but it ultimately doesn't really matter, the tech stuff, as long as you use it in a way that makes sense in context. Like, you can shoot something with your fucking phone if it makes sense in context or like stylistically if it makes sense. Don't wait around, I guess, until because nobody's ever gonna ask you to make something.
Right.
It will just never happen.
Yeah.
So you kind of just have to take initiative. You have to take a lot of initiative to make stuff. You have to spend a lot of your own money. You have to spend a lot of your hours and free time trying to put together a team. I'll say another thing is you don't need a crew of 50 people if you're making like a short film or I sometimes screen films for Slam Dance, and a lot of short films get submitted and there's like 100 people in the credits. I'm like, fuck, why?
Why did you do this? You made a feature film with 2 people. I mean,
yeah,
that's right there, and it's better than probably any of those shorts you get.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense if you're making like a studio film, but if you're making an independent film, like, you don't need 3 ADs, you don't need like 10 PAs. You can do a lot with very little. So as long as you like have a specific voice and point of view, and you're trying to achieve something, you can do a lot with a little. And just to wrap it up, I don't like any of my short films. I don't like Endless Content Forever that much, but they allowed me to, as I was making them, I sort of learned how to be a filmmaker, but more importantly, I learned how to like what I wanted to say and what my voice was and how I wanted to shoot things according to me. Because, when you're first starting out, you're basically just ripping off other people or not even just trying to emulate what you see in movies. But the more you shoot and the more you do, you kind of learn how you like to do things and what's interesting to you specifically and how you can get across your certain ideas and feelings. If any of that makes sense.
No, everything you just said was absolutely perfect. Everyone should check out End of History. We'll be anxiously awaiting the next 2 features and 5 shorts. And thank you very much for being here today, Jacob.
Thank you. No problem. Appreciate it.
I'd like to thank filmmaker Jacob Gregor for taking the time to talk with me. You can check out End of History on Memes TV and find his other work on sites like NoBudge. And be on the lookout for announcements about Jacob's upcoming films. I'd like to thank Brett and Craig Wright and everyone here at Splittooth. Thank you to Will Danola for our theme music, and thanks to you for listening. We've got an exciting couple months coming up on Splittooth, so keep checking back in. But in the meantime, go make more movies. See ya.